Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise and remain standing for the graduates processional.
Please rise for the presenting of the school colors by Innovation Central's JROTC and the singing of the national anthem by Innovation Central's Charnice Legrone. How do you push this up? Thank you.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets reckless, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night, and that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
We are honored that several Board of Education members and cabinet members have chosen to attend our graduation celebration. I would like to introduce the following Board of Education members and cabinet members. Reverend John Mateus, Board Secretary. Ms. Maureen Quinn Slade, Board Vice President. Mr. Raynard L. Ross, Board Member. Dr. Anthony Baker, Board President. Ms. Teresa Weatherall Neal, Superintendent of Schools. Mr. Ronald Gorman, Cabinet Member. In addition, I would like to acknowledge several of our cabinet members who are seated in the audience. Please rise. Thank you. Good afternoon. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the commencement exercises for Innovation Central and Grand Rapids Montessori High School senior class of 2015. It is now my pleasure to introduce Ms. Teresa Weatherall-Neal, Superintendent of Schools.
Good afternoon. I would like to just take this opportunity to thank the administrators, the teachers, staff members of our schools, and especially to you, graduates. Welcome. Thank you for allowing us to serve you. You guys look great from here. And especially to the last graduating class of Preston High School, the Polar Bears. I am still a polar bear. I say to you, congratulations, all of you. Thank you.
At this time, I would like to introduce Mr. Ronald Gorman, Executive Director of Teaching and Learning for High Schools and Alternative Schools. Immediately following Mr. Gorman will be Ms. Nikki Jones, Principal of Grand Rapids Montessori High School, and Mr. Mark Frost, Principal of Innovation Central High School, with their remarks.
All right. Parents, family members, friends, teachers, and administration, thank you for the support you have provided over the last 4 years. You've done so much to make GRPS a wonderful learning environment. This work could not have been done without you. Seniors, thank you so much for working incredibly hard to prepare yourselves for the future. You have given back to your community, completed rigorous curricula, prepared for challenging examinations like the ACT, completed all of your homework assignments on time, and participated in extracurricular activities. As a result, you have made Innovation Central, Grand Rapids Montessori High School, and GRPS better places. Thank you. Your hard work has gotten you into Columbia College, Michigan State University, the University of Michigan, Central Michigan University, just to name a few, trade schools, and also the military. And along the way, you have earned hundreds of thousands of dollars in scholarships to help finance your learning. Congratulations. At this time, I would like to introduce our first principal. She is a principal of Grand Rapids Montessori. She has a degree from Grand Valley State University. She has been with the Grand Rapids Public Schools for 13 years. She has been a Montessori coordinator, and she's beginning her 3rd year as head principal of Grand Rapids Montessori. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to my friend and colleague, Principal Miss Nikki Jones.
Good evening, families, cabinet members, members of the Board of Education, Superintendent Teresa Weatherall-Neal. Thank you for celebrating here with us tonight and for the opportunity to serve our community. Graduates, give the world the best you have. It may never be enough, but give the best you have anyway. Life is an amazing journey, and as you embark on this journey of your life, make a choice. Choose to give the world the best you have. It won't be easy, but do it anyway. Your life is an incredible gift, and as individuals, you have so much to offer the world. Don't be deterred by your fears, either real or perceived. Don't be limited by other people's expectations of you, and most importantly, don't just endure the amazing gift of life. Excuse me. Give the world the best you have by putting yourself out there and living life. Don't merely be a spectator. It may be safer, but nothing compares to living a full life. It takes guts and daring and a willingness to take risk, but it'll be so worth it, despite the scratches and bruises that you are sure to receive along the way. Cherish the amazing relationships that you have in your life. Really listen to others, have empathy and compassion. Strive to always build people up rather than break them down. And don't sweat the small stuff. Scuff marks on your gym shoes, bad hair days, less than perfect makeup, or your parents waking you up to do chores in the middle of the afternoon. The relentless pursuits of wealth and the accumulation of stuff. Instead, laugh more, love more, forgive often, smile, be spontaneous, cry when your heart is breaking, and reach out when your heart is overflowing. It is this that will define your life. It is these qualities that will allow you all to give the world the best you have. The people who will make the most difference in your lives are not the ones that with the most credentials, the most money, the most awards and recognition. They are the ones who care about you. So care enough to give the world the best you have, and as you begin college and careers, you will be giving the world a tiny miracle, small but hugely significant. Congratulations, and I wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you, Ms. Jones. At this time, I would like to introduce the principal of Innovation Central High School. Mr. Frost attended Michigan State University, has over 25 years of experience in education with the Grand Rapids Public Schools, 17 years as a teacher, athletic director, assistant principal, and going into his fourth year as head principal at Innovation Central High School. Ladies and gentlemen, also my friend and colleague, Mr. Mark Frost.
Parents, family members, friends, Board of Education members, cabinet members, staff, and seniors. Innovation Central has had another great year in so many ways, due in large part to these seniors and their families who for the last 2 years have made this a truly outstanding school with seemingly endless opportunities. But before I address you seniors, I first want to highlight a couple retirees from Innovation Central. The first is school nurse Karen Puick. Karen Puick has given 22 years of service to Grand Rapids Public Schools, all in our building. She was dedicated to her job every day, and she is the kind of school nurse you want. She comes out in the hallway every passing time to talk with students, is mostly compassionate, but sometimes tough when she needs to be, just the kind of nurse you want for high school. Nurse Puick, you are the standard by which all other nurses should be measured. We will surely miss you. The second retiree I'd like to spotlight is Mr. Dan David. From the very beginning, when I arrived 3 years ago, Mr. David was dedicated and focused on increasing our student achievement on tests and through writing. And he was a huge influence on our scoring in our school and our writing increases over the last 3 years. Mr. Dan David ran his guitar club and really connected with students and was a close friend of mine. I will certainly miss working with him, and you certainly will be missed, Mr. David. These two staff members help make up a tremendously professional staff with many all-stars. And I really appreciate the hard work and dedication that most all of you have given and to push Innovation Central to be a great school from the very beginning. I know a few of you are moving on, and I wish you all the best, but I am already looking forward to next year to keep this school and our programs moving forward. Now, I want to take a minute to address the different groups of students in our building. To the Montessori families and students, I want you to know that I tried to treat you and your children the same as any other family or student in the building, and I hope you Montessori students felt that. With the way the two schools are intertwined, I didn't know some of you were Montessori for the first 2 years, but I've really enjoyed interacting with you and getting to know you all, and I wish you all the best moving forward. To all the families and students who came from Creston 2 years ago, the Creston family students, the modern engineering GRPS students, and the Creston students. Yes, yeah, give them some applause there. You got it. You know, they were great programs, and we're more than excited to have them, and we're more appreciative to have you guys in our building. But Let me move on. And the Creston students who came and entered the Academy of Business. We made a promise to you and your families to continue the excellent teaching and the increased test scores from Creston, and we have done just that. Your children have continued to excel in this environment and have helped shape what Innovation Central has become. It was my privilege getting to know you these last 2 years, and I wish you the best in your futures. To the ADC students, Academy Design and Construction, Academy for Design and Construction. You came from 2 years of classes, mostly online, to interact with our excellent staff of teachers. And this has been a great move for you both academically and for your program. Your test scores have increased remarkably, but you have also really impressed me with your designs, the Adirondack chairs, and building the Habitat for Humanity houses the last 3 years. You have all been well prepared to enter the workforce or to excel in this field in college, and I hope you all have success in doing that. And last but not least, the health science families and students. I came to our building 3 years ago when it was just you and the Montessori students, and we had a very good year. But the transformation plan 2 years ago to bring all the centers of innovation to our building, I know, made many of you very uneasy about what was going to happen to our school's nice, warm, small atmosphere. Well, I don't think any of those fears really materialized. We no longer are small, but we have kept that nice, warm atmosphere, and you have been a huge part of it. I've really enjoyed getting to know you all these past 3 years, and I wish you all the best in the future. Seniors, to wrap up, the only advice I can really give you is to work hard and try to find something you like to do for a career and a profession. I think you get the feeling that I do like being a principal and working at Innovation Central, and I really do. Even with the headaches that come along with this job, it is still very rewarding and satisfying for me, and I hope each and every one of you finds that kind of satisfaction in your careers as you move forward, whether that career starts now or it starts after college. I have shaken hands with many of you virtually every day that you have come to school the last 2 years, which might be over 350 times for some of you. And really, unless our paths cross in the future, this might be the last handshake. And I want you to know I look forward to it and will value it. Seniors, good luck in the future. Work hard. I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Our next speaker for the afternoon is Grand Rapids Montessori High School class valedictorian, Ms. Jana Zimmerman. Jana is the daughter of Brian and Jennifer Zimmerman and has been attending Grand Rapids Montessori Public Schools since preschool in 2001 and has remained with the program throughout her senior year. She has been a part of the National Honor Society West Michigan Center of Arts program, Third 90s program, and has volunteered daily at the Montessori Upper Elementary since her junior year of high school. She is an avid supporter of the arts and received awards for writing pieces and many photographs and drawings she has created. She plans on attending Aquinas in the fall to become an elementary level educator with a dual minor in reading and math. After certification is complete, she hopes to work towards getting her Montessori certification training.
Good afternoon. I am so proud to stand here before you. Today, we have chosen to graduate high school. The dictionary definition of the word choice is a course of action, thing, or person that is selected or decided upon. Whether or not we were aware of it, we chose to be committed to finishing school. We chose to take whatever actions required to get to this point. For many of us, it hasn't been an easy road. For me, a challenge has been growing emotionally, dealing with loss and depression that clouded my vision and made participating in everyday life difficult. Another example is found with my dear friend who attends high school out of state and graduated last weekend. She had to deal with many outside challenges. She's had a family member been ill and watched them become someone that she doesn't know. She moved at least 4 times and had to hold down a job to make sure the rent and food were paid for, as well as going through school every day and keeping up passing grades. And still, she made the time to support me from miles away and do the things she loved. You may even see bits and pieces of yourself in your story reflected in her own. It is your journeys journeys like hers, journeys like yours, that I am inspired. You inspire me by how all of you have overcome the hurdles and challenges in your life to remain committed and to accomplish what you want to do. It is in life as adults that now we get to completely choose our own direction. We have the power to choose as adults how we show and act upon our feelings and what actions we choose to take. In our formative years, our parents made choices for us. It was our parents' responsibility to make sure that little Adolf, who set ants on fire, didn't get anywhere near my kid, and to make sure that we had a roof over our head and food in our bellies, that our temper tantrums in public were in front of the smallest possible audience. Now, we take those responsibilities, and it might seem terrifying. It can be overwhelming until we realize that we have the power to choose and have been given the wisdom by those along our journey to help discern good choices. Life happens, and we don't get to choose our circumstances. I'm sure none of us actively chose to be placed in an education system or saw the value of going to school every day. But it was something required of us. None of us can control a sudden layoff or illness, or death of someone you care about, or roommates bailing on rent. Those things are circumstances, and we're just thrown into them. If we forget that we have the power to choose our actions or emotional responses, we might stall out and skip asking the questions or doing what is necessary to succeed. This type of inactive drifting leaves us powerless because we forget that we have a say in our lives. I have seen the level of commitment in this room. I've watched several of you kick butt to finish E2020 and sit here today. I've watched people humbled by the consequences of their actions and come back strong to complete high school in their 5th year. Every single time I have been allowed into glimpses of your lives that you have shared with me, I have been amazed. The level of commitment to choices and goals where we want to go in life is astounding. I have been in awe of the hurdles overcome and how much stronger we are for overcoming them. I know every person in this room has the ability to choose powerfully. So today, we get to celebrate that. We get to celebrate the positive actions and choices that have been made. We get to celebrate and encourage the powerful choices we will make in the future, to celebrate the commitment to our goals and our dreams. As we graduate from Innovation Central in Montessori today, I would like to conclude with a quote from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Free at last, thank God Almighty we are free at last, free to graduate, free to choose our futures. Thank you for your time.
Our next speaker for the afternoon is Grand Rapids Montessori High School class, Our next speaker is Grand Rapids Montessori High School class salutatorian, Ms. Joanna Barcelo. Joanna Barcelo, the daughter of Breezy Barcelo, is an avid learner and explores her interests to the best of her abilities. After being raised in Chicago, she is very appreciative of the community Grand Rapids has provided her. Since the move, she has spent numerous hours volunteering with Grand Rapids Innovation Central in Montessori, the Grand Rapids Art Museum, and the Arts and Studio. Joanna was also active in modeling UN, attending conferences in Washington, D.C., and in Indianapolis. Joanna is a talented artist. She has created many of the recycling posters that hang throughout the halls of Innovation Central in Montessori. She plans to continue following her dreams and interests next year at Grand Rapids Community College.
Oh boy. I was going to introduce myself, but that's kind of my background story. For those of you who don't know me, hi, I'm Joanna. I wanted to start off my speech with asking all of you if you're familiar with the game Would You Rather? Yeah? Okay. So I'm going to give you a Would You Rather. Would you rather eat a bowl of spiders, my house has a spider problem, or give a high school graduation speech you were very nervous about? I made my decision. Here I am. I bring up Would You Rather because we're about to kind of step into a big game of Would You Rather called life. As young adults, we're going to experience a lot of paths and choices coming our way, and not all in our favor, which is kind of the fun of the game also, to give people the worst choices and see what they choose. Some of us have meticulously planned out our upcoming future, and I respect that with the utmost respect. That was my original plan. There are many paths we can take. I chose to kind of create my own. I found it interesting and a little bit more attractive because this year, I think a lot of us felt the pressure of school, diploma, career. You must be happy, right? You have money. But I think that there are many ways we can go, and not all of them are acknowledged. And I don't want any of you to think that one way is the only way, because I did, and that made me really anxious. I guess what I want to say is that all of us have the end goal of being happy. And we're all very unique. We have different interests and morals. And I'm sorry, a little bit nervous. We also have different versions of success. And it's important to keep that strong head on you and follow your version of success, because being happy is something you work at, and being successful is also something you work at. So either way you go, it'll be a lot of work, so you might as well go with the way that keeps you content, and you can sit with yourself at the end of the day and be satisfied with that. The last thing I want to remind you of is how important it is to know yourself and to really love yourself, because you're all gonna be with this adult self the rest of your life. So just keep growing, keep moving, keep going forward. Don't sit on the couch for the next few years. That's not what I'm saying. By choose your own path, I'm saying be productive, make yourself feel successful, because you will be satisfied. And that's kind of what I'm doing right now. I am just doing a lot of art and henna on the side and working at a restaurant, and I will be going to GRCC next year. I'm not following a strict path. I'm kind of just going with whatever feels really good on the inside. And I think you should do that too. I want to wish you all the best of luck, and the last thing I'm going to say is never stop wondering and never stop wandering. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Innovation Central High School Class Valedictorian, Mr. Jude Yamba. Jude is the son of Young and Liz Yamba. While in high school, Jude volunteered at Mercy Health. He was also a part of the Michigan State University Medicine Pipeline Program. Jude is also a member of the National Honor Society and served a member of Grand Rapids Community Foundation's Youth Grant Committee. Jude will attend the University of Michigan, where he will major in biopsychology, cognition, and neuroscience.
Thank you. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. So, of course, we all know why we're here. There's the mothers, the fathers, cousins, uncles, all here for this special occasion, which is to watch our family members walk down this stage towards their diplomas, to see the smiles across their faces, to see their hard effort through high school finally paying off. And of course, for the 2015 high school graduates, to know that we no longer had to drag ourselves out of our beds towards the first hour classes that some of us might have not liked. But as we're all moving on to the next level of our education, Some of us are going to GRPS Community College, Whittier College, Calvin College, Aquinas College, Ferris State University, Michigan State University, University of Michigan, Davenport University, and Siena Heights University, and so on and so forth. We should all remember the changes that we had to get used to leading up to this point. We should all remember and thank the people who helped us during these changes. Now, for me personally, I would like to use this opportunity to thank my parents. Mom, thank you very much for thank you very much for giving birth to me, of course. Also, thank you for always encouraging me to do the right things in life. And for my dad, thank you for always encouraging me to focus on education and being humble. Now, some of you, it might be your cousins or grandparents or friends that have helped you out in life. So thank them and let them know that their efforts are greatly appreciated. Now, let's not forget to also thank the teachers. They had to put up with us over the years. Some of them probably had to wake up even earlier than most of us did just to come to school and to do what they do best. Now, I would also like to take this opportunity to thank two of the teachers that have made such a tremendous impact in my life. One of them would be Miss McCready. Wow. Okay. Words cannot express how thankful I am for all of the love and compassion that you've shown towards me. Thank you very much for helping me out with all those scholarship essays. Also, thank you for not only being a teacher, but also a friend to not only me, but all of the students that have ever had you as a teacher. And my second teacher would be Mr. Patrick, who I'm not sure is here, but thank you very much for knowing very well how much I hated math and knowing very well how much I hated every little concept of calculus, but still being willing to help me understand and still being willing to help me and others push through those challenging chapters. So thank you to my parents and my teachers. Now, I would like to conclude my speech with one of my favorite quotes, which is, "The only limit is the one you set yourself." The only limit is the one you set yourself. So as we as 2015 high school graduates, as we're all advancing into our different paths, as we're all looking forward to the different careers that we might be interested in, let us not forget to reach as high as we possibly can. Let us not forget to accomplish as many things as we possibly can. For it is true that the only limit is the one that we truly set ourselves. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Innovation Central High School Class Salutatorian, Mr. Christian Guillen. Christian Jesus Guillen was born in Los Angeles, California, and moved to Michigan when he was 8 months old. Christian has two younger siblings that are also students in the Grand Rapids public school system. Christian's parents are Jesus and Myra Guillen. Throughout his high school years, Christian participated in Upward Bound, Michigan Youth in Government, and the Big House program. During his senior year, he was the president of National Honor Society. Christian will attend the University of Michigan in the fall.
Hello there. My name is Christian Guillen. I want to thank everyone for coming this afternoon for this marvelous event. All of us came from different schools and created this new school and community within Innovation Central. What also came along were memories of a time ago. Those memories we can see clearly, memories of those we used to know, the people we held dearly. I know the transition of schools was difficult. All of us, only knowing our friends, came to this new school where we didn't know what would happen. Life can be vicious with every new turn, but this world is changing, and we must embrace the changes with our lives. As we continue to, we must not forget our memories which molded us to who we are. We might not know what the future might be for us, but we can overcome any barriers that may come our way. When we started high school, many of us had curiosity, fears, enjoyment of what's going to happen. As we passed from grade to grade, we gradually matured and went into adulthood. Now it's our last year of high school, and we are happy to enjoy this newfound freedom that will come our way. Even with the new freedom, we must remind ourselves that there comes more responsibilities with this newfound freedom. We must not forget our caring parents and guardians who were there throughout our lives, guiding us to become adults. Now, as we become adults, we are leaving the bird's nest and flying away to find ourselves. This is a glorious and sad moment in our life for our parents who watched us grow and become who we are today. Today is our last day of high school and the beginning of our adulthood. In closing, I will recommend everyone, especially the students, to thank your parents, family, and friends who are supporting you till this day. Thank you.
At this time, all the graduates will take their places with the graduating class. And just another big round of applause for our salutatorians, valedictorians, Jana, Joanna, Jude, and Christian. A really tremendously great accomplishment. Now, I'd like to invite our graduates to the stage for an individual presentation of their diploma. Announcing the names of the graduates this afternoon, our Innovation Central and Grand Rapids Montessori teaching staff, Mrs. Leanne McCready, Mr. John Richards, and Mr. Peter Cassis. The senior class and Innovation Central and Grand Rapids Montessori community requested your cooperation in refraining from loud, disruptive noises during this presentation. We want every graduate to have his or her special moment and would appreciate it if you would limit your applause to each row as the graduates return to their seats. Thank you.
Will the first row please rise? Isaiah Alcantar. Michaela Beer. Christian John Betts. Kimberly Garrett. Ruby Biggs. Estefany Calderon. Joanna Barcelo. Marcial Keanu Samuel Hernandez Freeman. Liera Monique Lynch. James Mangius. Michael Mays. Algeria Shellman. Jasmine Smith. Trevor Spangler. Markeisha Alexis Weaver. Jana Janice Zimmerman.
Will the second row please rise? Jude Iamba. Montasia Davis. Christian Jesus Guillen. Anthony DeMonte Allen. Brian Cornell Anderson Robinson. Naomi Anderson. Hector Arvizu Mata. Gabby Barajas. Kyle Body. Peyton Taylor Bradley. Alante R. Brown. Douglas Cifuentes. Diego Enrique Galvan. Sadie Brubaker. Monica Marie Burrows. Yeri Calderon Escobar. Feve Calderon Monteroso. Emily Ann Card. Keisha Raylene Carter. Joel Castro Valles Jr. Marshall Chandler.
Will the next row please rise? Ariana Lene Karan. Angelica Cristobal. Kelvin Cruz. Yannicki Trinice Cunningham. Marquis Devin Curry. Kinasia DeGreat. Kinasia. Kylan Dickerson. Ashley Nicole Elliott. Carlia Marilyn Nicole Evans. Eunice Ayamba. Janaya Finn Aru. Dion Lamont Floyd Jr. Alicia Nicole Gaines. Marquarius Tavan Gaither.
Will the fourth row please rise? Maria Espinoza. Patricia Garcia. Okay. Marcus Gibson. Charisma Bernice Gomez Calvo. Breeza Margarita Gonzalez. Alexandria Jean Graber. Diana Guillen Chavez. Ayla Anne-Marie Gutierrez. Gabriel Hall. Michael Joseph Hambrick. Evelyn LaSherrill Harris. Andrea Marie Hennis. Cindy Tron Nguyen. Malik James. Javante Devier Jefferson. Brianna Johnson. Lisandro Juarez. Donovan Christian Keenan.
Will the next row please rise? Anthony Kimball. Shantasia King. Holly Nicole Kramer. Charnice Monet Legron. Victoria Vince Lambert. Lakeisha Nichelle Latham. Guadalupe Leon. Sierra Monique Libet. Adam John Lipinski, Jr. Alicia Renee Logwood. Bianca Marisol Lucas Bautista. Sylvester McGee. James McKinney. Tyshawn Meeky. Julia Mendez. Edgar Meneses Navarro. Juanita Mesta. Rashad Miller. Juan Mora. Juliana Mora. Gabriela Munguia. Brian Munguia.
Will the next row please rise? Maria Guadalupe Navarrete. Trong Nguyen. Adriana Rosario Ortiz. Rayshawn Parchman Jr. Jalen Jermaine Pearson. Angie Perez. Jeremy Peterson. Precious Pratt. Marcela Ermelinda Rafael Perez. Cindy Ramirez. Karina Ramirez. Sarah Bell Rayburn. Jakia Rice. Maura Rios Rios. Mario Sean Roberts. Amber Veridiana Rodas. Eric Rodas. Isaac Rodas Rodriguez. Clarissa Rodas. Nikeo Nitrez Ross, Jr. Sequoia Equal Laquo Simpson. Naquasia Armani Cherie Smith.
Will the next row please rise? James Keyshawn Sparks. Jeremiah St. Clair. Nathaniel Jamar Stanley. Carla Teo Reyes. Kamani Tyrick Thompson. Terriana Monet Tillman. Randy Mung Chu. Chantel Latrice Tyler. Treyana Lachelle Urquhart. Ricardo Vale. Amber Darnay Young. Erasmo Valles Garcia Jr. Teresa Lynn Van Dyke. Antonia Maria Antonia Vasquez. Morgan Rachel Van Westenbrugge. Manuel Ivan Vasquez. Mia Nicole Wallace. Raekwon Marcus Deshaun Wheatley. Devasier Whiteside. Patriella Ambrosia Whittington. DeMarcus Williams. Tyra Nicole Williams. Miraja Finesse Wilkins. Mariah Monet Wilkins. Angela Zavala. Julian Mercado.
Will the next row please rise? Alicia Beatriz Mazarigos Ramirez. Maria Margarita Morales. Janessa Lachey Cambrick. Sydney Izora Dawson. Christy Lucero de Leon Mendez.
Big round of applause for our graduates. President Baker, would you please join me at the podium? President Baker, today I present to you 169 candidates for graduation. I certify that all candidates who will be receiving diplomas have met or exceeded all of the requirements as set forth by the Grand Rapids Public Schools Board of Education and the state of Michigan. At this time, I'd like the valedictorians and salutatorians to join me on stage, please. Will the members of the class of 2015 please rise? Members of the class of 2015, please join me in moving your tassels from the right to the left.
All right, are y'all ready? On behalf of the Board of Education, faculty, and staff of the Grand Rapids Public Schools, it is my honor to accept the graduating class of 2015 for Innovation Central High School and Grand Rapids Montessori High School, and with the power invested in the board by the state, hereby conferred diplomas on each of you. Congratulations, all right.
Will the audience please rise and join the seniors standing for our recessional. The stage guests will exit, followed by the students. Please hold your spots until all students have exited. Thank you.